This story is about Chelsea Bruck, a 22-year-old girl from Michigan who went missing after attending a Halloween party in Frenchtown Township in October 2014. She was the youngest of 5 siblings, with dreams of pursuing a culinary degree at Monroe Community College. The night she disappeared, she was dressed as Poison Ivy, and her costume was eerily discovered 6 months later at an industrial site. Chelsea Bruck's remains were discovered on April 24, 2015, in a wooded lot on Briar Hill Road in Ash Township, 15 miles from the party. According to the Wayne County Medical Examiner, Bruck's cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma to the head, resulting in multiple fractures to her face, jaw, neck, and teeth. But the real mystery begins when you wonder, what really happened to Chelsea Bruck that night, and why did her remains turn up in a wooded lot 15 miles away from the party? This story is full of questions that still demand answers. Keep watching to find out. Chelsea, the youngest of 5 siblings, was working as a waiter at a local restaurant in Frenchtown Township, Michigan, when her life took a tragic turn. Her job as a waiter resonated with her passion for baking, a dream she hoped to pursue by earning a culinary degree and becoming a chef. The evening in question was October 25, 2014, and 22-year-old Chelsea was enjoying herself at a large costume party, an annual event hosted by Mike Williams and his band, Pickaxe Preacher. This event has become a local tradition, drawing in hundreds of attendees each year. For the occasion, Chelsea crafted her Poison Ivy costume, sewing leaves onto a black top and leggings. A dark wig covered her blonde hair, transforming her into the character. This outward transformation contrasted with her typically quiet and reserved demeanor. Throughout the night, Chelsea was in high spirits, relishing the outdoor festivities on a vast rural property. She laughed and danced with friends until around 3 a.m. as the crowd began to thin out. At that point, like many others, she decided it was time to head home. Even though friends offered her rides, Chelsea declined and chose to leave on her own. But she never made it back home. The day following Chelsea's unexplained absence, her parents reported her missing when she failed to return home, prompting an immediate community-wide search. Over the next 6 months, an initiative was launched, encouraging people in the community to wear purple ribbons as a show of support, both at work and at home. Then, in April 2015, more than a year later, clothing pieces from Chelsea's Halloween costume were discovered at an abandoned industrial site, remnants of her torn top and leggings. Several weeks after this discovery, on April 24, construction workers who were preparing to build a property made a chilling find. In the woods, close to train lines and approximately 12 miles away from where the Halloween event took place, they found the lifeless body of a young woman. Through dental records, Chelsea was identified. An autopsy revealed that she had tragically succumbed to blunt force trauma, her face bearing multiple fractures, and 2 of her teeth chipped. Chelsea had finally been located, but this discovery only confirmed the worst fears of everyone involved. Male DNA was discovered on Chelsea's leggings, but there were no matches in the database, leaving her family frustrated and uncertain if they'd ever see justice. However, the following year, a man's DNA, submitted for a robbery case, yielded a match in Chelsea's case. The individual in question was Daniel Clay, aged 27, who had a criminal history that included charges of breaking and entering, possession of controlled substances, and theft. Moreover, he was present at the Halloween party on the fateful night. In July 2016, authorities arrested him at his girlfriend's residence after he left her a series of voicemails. Jessica Preidel, who worked with Bruck and had a child with Clay, told the police she briefly smoked marijuana with Clay that night. Her last sighting of Bruck was around 1 or 1:30 a.m. In the many months since Bruck's disappearance, Preidel couldn't remember Clay ever mentioning anything about Bruck. However, on the day he got arrested, she received 2 voicemails from him while she was at work. Initially, when questioned, Daniel denied any involvement in Chelsea's death. However, he later altered his account, claiming that he unintentionally killed Chelsea. According to his statement, he left the party and encountered Chelsea walking down the road with her wig in her hand. He offered her a ride, which she accepted. They drove for a little longer before having consenting sex. Chelsea begged Daniel to choke her, which he did for 20 to 30 seconds until she stopped breathing. He stated that he attempted CPR but was unable to bring her around and freaked out. He said he did not contact the police and instead drove about for over an hour until he came to a stop near some railroad tracks. He claimed he transported her body from his car to a forested location and buried her behind tree branches, twigs, and leaves. "I didn't intend for things to end this way," he said. However, the details in Daniel's account raised questions. Chelsea's cause of death was blunt force trauma, not asphyxiation. Moreover, her torn leggings and damaged shoulder straps pointed to a potential sexual assault. Doctors were highly confident, at 99.9%, that the woman wasn't choked to death. They also stressed that it takes at least 4 minutes of continuous and strong pressure to strangle someone to the point of fatality. The court initially accused Daniel of killing Chelsea without much premeditation. But by upgrading the charge to open murder, the court has made it possible for the jury to think about whether the accused person intentionally planned the murder. This could result in a more severe first-degree murder conviction if the jury finds enough evidence to support it. During the 2017 trial, Daniel maintained his stance, testifying that Chelsea's demise was a tragic accident stemming from a ride he offered her. He claimed to have wept near her lifeless body before leaving the scene. Despite his stated guilty conscience, Daniel did not contact the cops or inform her bereaved family where her corpse was when they made repeated requests and the community searched for her. Daniel said he couldn't understand why and how Chelsea died. According to the prosecution, Daniel saw Chelsea was alone and misled her into getting into his car. He raped her before brutally beating her to death. He'd spent over 2 years concocting a tale and only spoke out after he was arrested. After originally denying any involvement, the defendant murdered Chelsea Bruck and then abandoned her lifeless, nude corpse, according to the prosecution. Clearly, he didn't want to get caught. The jury deliberated after listening to hours of Daniel being interviewed following his detention. Daniel was found guilty of felony murder and hiding a body in May of that year, and he was sentenced 2 months later in front of Chelsea's family. Daniel sent an apology to Chelsea's mother, Leandra. "I made a mistake," he said. "I know I harmed the family and the community. I sincerely apologize. I apologize for putting you through this." Daniel was sentenced to life in jail with no possibility of release. Following that, Chelsea's mother spoke to the press about the significance of looking after each other on a night out and not allowing anybody to go alone. Chelsea was dressed as a wicked person that fateful Halloween, but she couldn't have been more innocent when she tragically met actual evil and paid with her life. A young woman of 22 lost her life, never having the chance to fulfill her dreams, all because she trusted a friend to give her a ride. Chelsea Bruck's untimely death shook a relatively small Michigan township, Frenchtown Towns. When a young adult vanishes and is found murdered, it has a significant impact on the entire community. Chelsea is deeply missed by her family and friends. Her influence extended beyond her local community, making headlines in nearby states and even national news due to the lengthy and complicated trial. Bruck's tragic tale serves as a reminder to stay safe during Halloween. If you plan to visit friends or attend a house party, make sure to go, stay, and leave with a trusted friend. What are your thoughts on such painful cases? Let us know in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button to stay connected.